Sup everyone, it's really TimmyB and welcome to week 3 of season 5 of the Elite Battle League, or the EBL for short. Last week we got our first win of the season, taking down the Detroit Lux Rays and Game Reviews with a Mewtwo sweep, so we are looking pretty good in the standings. This week we are battling our good friend Metamaxis and his New York Matangs, and this is going to be a fun battle. We anticipated, we were talking all week. Maxis is in a few other competitive leagues with some of his friends from school, and he does a lot of doubles with held items, so a little bit of an adjustment, but he has adjusted well. He has 1 win and he has 1 loss on the season, and without further ado, just want to say we had technical difficulties again, so we are using Metamaxis and doing a little post commentary, so I do apologize. Hopefully we can get this fixed before the playoffs. That way for the playoffs and the championship, you're able to see my side live as I record in the battle. So without further ado, as I just said again, take a shot. We have Volcarona, Marshadow, Venusaur, Mamoswine, Mewtwo, and making their DC Starmie's debut is Melodic, with Alolan Raichu, Haxorus, and Bisharp taking the week off. And on Metamaxis' side, you can see he's bringing Dialga, Kartana, Gastrodon, Togekiss, Hatterene, and Rotom Heat. He also has Gigalith, Machamp, and Ferrothorn. So talking a little bit about my prep and my strategy, Mewtwo does outspeed his whole team. Unfortunately, Mewtwo doesn't have the type coverage, and I just know it's just not going to work to go for a sweep, but at least we still have Mewtwo with us. Marshadow is going to be a nice attacker. Volcarona, we're going to see that in action this week. That's going to be a lot of fun. Mamoswine's always good. Venusaur's always good. And Melodic is going to be a lot of fun as well. It's super bulky. It's super nice, and we have some great moves and build on that one. So actually looking at his team right here, noticing the first 2 weeks of Metamaxis, a lot of his team ran through Gastrodon and Gigalith being kind of annoying, bulky mons. Gastrodon with Yawn and Recover. Gigalith just being super bulky, as well as delivering a couple of solid hits as well. So needless to say, I was a little surprised about no Gigalith this week, but once we talked about it afterwards, it made a little bit more sense to me, but still. I know how annoying Gastrodon can be, so if we can get Gastrodon out, that's what we're going with. Rotom Heat is another bulky mon, Hatterene's another bulky mon, Togekiss bulky, and Dialga is just everything. It's Dialga, and Kartana is nice. So guys, this is going to be a really tough battle, but you know, I prepared as best as I can. Maybe we made a few mistakes in the battle, but you guys are ready for it, so make sure you hit that thumbs up button to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's go, because I've kept you waiting for so long, ladies and gentlemen. So we're hopping into the battle again. Maxis is making his decision. He's taking a look, so make sure you guys go check out on his side of the battle. And so what we're gonna do here is I am waiting on Maxis. Alrighty, sorry for that quick cut, guys. We are here in the battle. So starting off with our lead, we are gonna go out with Mamoswine here. And Maxis is going to be starting Hatterene. I know Hatterene has Magic Bounce, so we're definitely not going to go with the Stealth Rocks here on this turn. I'm going to go with an Iron Head here because it's super effective against Hatterene, and if he switches into something else, it can hit hard. Unfortunately, though, Maxis knew what I was kind of doing, so he goes into Rotom Heat, where Iron Head really does like no damage here. Obviously, it's a bulky, not very effective, yeah, as you can see. So I figured, you know what, that was a good opportunity. I was like, he's probably gonna try to status me here with Will-O-Wisp. He's thinking about maybe switching into something else, but honestly, I think he made the right play, and I think I made the right play as well. So he's gonna go for the burn with Will-O-Wisp once he selects that move. Or Thunder Wave. Oh, he was thinking about doing Thunder Wave. That's interesting. So he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, it lands, it burns me. So at this point, I know Mamoswine's done. All right, we all know Mamoswine's a physical attacker. It's not rocket science to know that. We have all physical moves because that's its best stat. So I set up the rocks, and here I'm thinking, okay, I'm burned. Mamoswine is now useless at this point. So I have a couple of options. We can just play it out, let this die, get a clean switch in, or try to switch. Maybe bring in Mamoswine to just sacrifice a hit or two if need be to get a clean switch later in the battle. And Maxis is kind of thinking the same thing here too. He's saying, hey, is he gonna switch? Like, should I Thunder Wave something? And you'll see a little bit later, and he'll explain the reasoning too on his side of the battle, which you guys should definitely be watching as well, by the way. and all the other homies in the EBL. All their links are in the description, guys. Could not recommend any of these guys more. There's a bunch of great series with Pokemon in our community, so make sure you guys go check them out. So at this point, really against Rotom, the best option is just Ice Shard, and he's going to go with Overheat. So I think it took him a while to make that decision, but I think we both kind of came down to like, look, like Mamoswine's dead at this point, so he was trying to maybe see if I was going to switch to get off a Thunder Wave to paralyze something. So at this point, Mamoswine is done. I'm just going to go with another Ice Shard just to do like 3 damage or whatever it is. He's going to go for another Overheat, which lowers his special attack. And I'll get into that in a second once it actually happens. Because Overheat lowers your special attack. Obviously, Rotom Heat has great special attack. It'll do more than enough on this Mamoswine. So, Mamoswine is officially down. Maxis, congratulations. You get first blood this week. Hopefully we can get first blood next week. I'll just say that. All right, so Mamoswine is down now. Rotom Heat is still chilling here. And I'm kind of thinking on my end, too, like this takes a couple of seconds of like, what do I do? Because I know he has Thunder Wave. I know it has Will-O-Wisp. His moveset honestly hasn't changed. It's Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Will-O-Wisp, Overheat. That's really all you can do with Rotom Heat. I know he's trying to paralyze the Mewtwo because... Take a shot, guys. Mewtwo outspeeds his entire team. Josh, I know you're watching this right now. He knows that he would love to paralyze Mewtwo to lower the speed or potentially status it. So I know that if he's going for the burn, I should go into a special attacker. So I decided to go for Venusaur here because Venusaur is kind of bulky. He's -2 or I believe Overheat strongly decreases. Either way, Overheat doesn't do a lot. He goes for the paralysis here to slow down Venusaur a little bit more. Maybe there's some paralysis luck and I miss a turn. So I just go with Sludge Bomb here. It's the best move. If he switches into something else, honestly, that wasn't Kartana or Dialga, Sludge Bomb would do a little bit of some decent stuff. So now Maxis kind of realizes too, like, hey, Rotom Heat kind of did its job. Let me try to get this out. Let's see if an Overheat does anything. And then we'll go about our merry way. Maxis will get a clean switch as well. So at this point, I'm still kind of thinking of like, all right, like this is still in here. So I was like strongly debating, and I think this is, I don't necessarily want to say it's a misclick, but I go for an Earth Power here because I know from the Overheats, he's down so low on special attack. I thought for a second he might be switching. So I thought, hey, let me throw him off. Let me go Earth Power. Obviously, Levitate hits. Wasn't a misclick. I don't know if it was a misplay. I mean, I guess myself in hindsight, it might have been, but I just figured being down so much on Overheat with the special attack, figured he might have gotten a switch off. So I was just trying to see if I could call that prediction. I was wrong. It happens, guys. So now we go with the Sludge Bomb here. Rotom Heat is done. So that is good. Bye-bye. We know that status could still happen with our team, and you'll see that later. So now he's like, all right, time to go into Kartana, or at least I think, yeah, he's going into Kartana here. And I know that despite not having it on its moveset in week 1 and week 2, that it's going to have Aerial Ace this week. And the reason for that is if Maxis is able to get off an Aerial Ace Dynamax, Max Airstream, he will then outspeed Mewtwo, and we all know what Kartana can do. Very fast physical attacker. And Maxis ran the calcs. He knew Stealth Rocks was likely coming for his team, so he got the Defog. Bye-bye Stealth Rocks. Maybe it came into a factor to play. Maybe it didn't. So honestly, Venusaur's paralyzed. We're in the yellow. I'm like, look, let's just get off an Earth Power. He either deletes me because he'll outspeed me and go with Aerial Ace, or, you know, he'll do something else. I went the Defog. So it was nice that we got a little chip damage there on Kartana. Chip, I say loosely because we put it in the red because Kartana has like no special defense. So at this point, I was like, all right, he didn't Dynamax. He didn't get the Max Airstream. So I'm just going to go into Mewtwo here. Honestly, probably could have gone into like Volcarona too. But I was like, you know what? Let's just get rid of Kartana. Kartana could be very, very dangerous. Let's just get off a Flamethrower here, delete it, and move about our merry way, see what he switches into. So it was actually kind of at this point where I was like, do I have control of the battle? The answer is no, I don't. The control, there was really nobody, I guess you can say it both ways, but like, and you'll see it on Max's side too. Like, do I think that like one was in control? I think I didn't have control initially. I got it back briefly, and it kind of went back and forth. So again, this has been a really fun battle. This has been a really great battle. So Hatterene is out. I know Hatterene can learn Shadow Ball, which is a no-no for us. And look, he's going with Nuzzle. That was kind of one of his big trump cards this week. Not his only. not his biggest, but definitely one of them. So he's trying to go for the Nuzzle because, once again, he would like to paralyze Mewtwo. So I knew Shadow Ball would be dangerous from a Hatterene. Super effective against Mewtwo. So I switch out. I go into Milotic here. Shout out Fruit Punch Ari. You're a legend. It goes for the Nuzzle, and kind of like the Venusaur. Okay, great. Like, I wasn't banking on Venusaur or Milotic to outspeed anybody. So really, at this point, it's just the annoying part of Milotic just maybe missing because of paralysis. That's the term I was going for. God, post commentary so hard. So here comes Gastrodon. I go with the Coil here, which raises my attack, my defense, as well as my accuracy. So we got a defense boost, we got an accuracy boost, which is great. And so I'm trying to figure out what to do here. Am I gonna try to predict a switch? Like, what's gonna happen? So he goes back into Hatterene. I think I'm paralyzed on this turn, if I'm not mistaken. Or do I go for another Coil? I forget what I went with here. Let's see. I am fully paralyzed. See, that's why. And like I said, maybe that could have been the deciding factor of the battle if I was able. I believe I was using Blizzard because I was like, he might switch into, you know, something. So I think I went into Blizzard just in case it didn't switch out of Gastrodon. Like, it would still do some damage to it. We're paralyzed again. So we're paralyzed 2 turns in a row. Even paralyzed, we outspeed Hatterene. It goes for a Giga Drain. I see it doesn't do a lot. So I know it might be coming again. Maxis might also be switching. At this point, I try to get something off. I get off a Hydro Pump. Great. Super duper. And it does, you know, pretty... Hatterene's kind of bulky, so that's okay. So now I'm kind of figuring out, like, all right, what do I do now? Like, do I just go with the Blizzard? Do I go with the Hydro Pump? Knowing that Hatterene could just use another Giga Drain and take me out at this point. So I guess solid play by Maxis. You'll find out in a second. Doesn't really matter. But I just go with another Hydro Pump because I'm like, this is Milotic's last turn. Like, let's call a spade. Like, it's either going to Giga Drain and take me out, but instead, it switches to Storm Drain Gastrodon here, which raises its special attack, which could be dangerous. Gastrodon has some pretty decent special attack here, especially with a move like Scald with a potential burn. So, we got Earth Power, we got Scald here. What's he gonna do? Let's see. Or does he switch? Does he recover? And by the way, like, on my side, since like I'm just sitting here battling, like, the communicating took like... It only took like a few seconds, but to me it felt like forever. So he goes with the Earth Power, takes me out. Again, not a problem. I really wish I could use more of that Melodic because I had a really solid plan for it, but unfortunately that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's the way the battle goes. So now I'm kind of thinking, like, what do I do here? So I go into Volcarona, and I'm going to go with the Giga Drain. I debated maybe getting off a Quiver Dance, but it's going for the Yawn here, so I was like, no, let's Giga Drain, see what just that does, just without getting a boost or whatever. So, unfortunately, we found out that if I got the boost, you know, it would have been a one-shot. So anyway, he yawned, I'm getting drowsy. I knew how much of a problem Gastrodon can be, especially watching Maxis in both week 1 and week 2. I was thinking he's going to go recover here. I was like, he's going to hope I either switch and recover or, you know, something happens. Kind of like on my side earlier with like the Mamoswine or even the Venusaur or the Melodic being like, look, this is going down. So I have 2 choices. Like, what do I want to do here? Do I want to switch and hope he recovers and Gastrodon becomes more of a problem? Or should I just kind of go about my merry way? So I decided I just got to get this Gastrodon out of the way. We'll deal with whatever comes out afterwards. We'll deal with the sleep. So I'm going to go with another Giga Drain. Just take this out. Once Maxis decides, this is the part where I was like just sitting there like communicating. What is happening right now? Come on! Like, I was like, Joseph, move. You can see like, and that's what I like. That's what I like about these battles. Is like he's actually taking the time. He's really running some stuff. So Giga Drain, Gastrodon out. Thankfully, not going to be a problem for us anymore. That just annoying bulk, that recover, yawn, Scald can burn. Earth Power's you know, a powerful move as well. So we're asleep. And just based on the rest of his team right now, Dialga, Togekiss, Hatterene, Volcarona's not going to do too much, right? So at this point, I'm just like, hopefully I wake up on the first turn. That would be ideal. So he goes with the power gem here. Obviously, super duper effective 4 times. I was like, all right, cool. If we wake up, great. If not, no worries. So Volcarona's about to go down here. Was thinking for a second. Thinking for another second. I think I'm thinking for a third second. You know, it's probably because you guys haven't hit that thumbs up button to like the video yet. That's probably why it took so long. So yeah, easy. I mean, like, look, come on. Power gem from Dialga against Volcarona. Bye-bye. All right. So now we have a couple of options here. I am just down to Marshadow and Mewtwo. He is down to Dialga, Togekiss, and Hatterene. What do? Well, we bring out Marshadow. So Marshadow is coming in here. It's going to outspeed Dialga. We have Drain Punch on it. Honestly, could probably go with a close combat, but I don't know. To me personally, I kind of like the just attack. I'll take a little less power if it means that my stats don't get lowered. Slash Drain Punch could also be nice if somehow it outsped me to restore some HP. So you'll see that happen here. He's debating on what to do as well. Either Drain Punch is going to do some decent damage on this Dialga, or do nothing against Hatterene or Togekiss, but I do have a plan for both of them. So on this Marshadow, I threw on Ice and Poison for both of them, because I figured, hey, you know what, if it comes down to Hatterene or Togekiss versus Marshadow, we at least have the type coverage for it. So that was kind of my thought process here. I think you'll see Poison Jab in a little bit. So we go with the Drain Punch. Does over half damage, it does 120 power, so that's awesome. As I said, if I went with the close combat here, definitely probably would have one-shot, or, you know, a more powerful fighting move. But I was like, you know what, let's just Drain Punch here, because then it kind of forces a switch on my end. And, like, who's to say that, like, if I were to close combat or whatever, he doesn't just one-shot me at that point. So that was kind of my thought process there. Again, we took down the Dialga in 2 hits. We're at over half health. I'm kind of happy where with Marshadow is, especially knowing that I have a super effective move against Togekiss and Hatterene. And, of course, I will outspeed just because that's how these Pokemon are. So here comes Togekiss, and I kind of debated for a hot second of, like, do I want a Poison Jab? Do I want to Ice Punch? In hindsight, probably should have gone with the Ice Punch to see if we could get the freeze. Instead, I went with the Poison Jab, as it was just a little bit more powerful. And again, you know, on the off chance that it does poison. So he is going to Dynamax the Togekiss here, which is honestly the smart decision. Between Togekiss and Hatterene, I'd be Dynamaxing Togekiss as well. And so Togekiss is really, really solid. So what is happening right here? Great question, TimmyB. So he is trying to get off a max airstream because, number one, it's super effective against Marshadow, the correct choice. We do get a Poison Jab off, does solid damage, really solid damage there, especially, you know, going up against Dynamax. Max airstream takes out Marshadow, and he gets a speed boost of +1. His speed increases with the max airstream. Okay, great. Now Mewtwo is the only one remaining. Yay! So basically, now I got a Dynamax because, I have the Dynamax. It's my last mon. I have the +1 on the Dynamax turn. Should I be able to take this out and then get to the Hatterene, we'll have 1 turn of me, you know, or vice versa, or maybe Togekiss goes down. Either way, I would have a Dynamax turn on either the Hatterene as his final Pokemon or Togekiss to take it out. So I'm Dynamaxing here. Really debating what to do here, honestly. Well, I only have a few moves for this. I should have brought Ice Beam or Thunderbolt to get the Max Hailstorm or the Max Lightning, but instead I just went with the Max Mindstorm, as it was my best move because it's Stab. So I am getting Big Mewtwo here. There we go. Alrighty. Come on. Take your time. Come on, TimmyB. You got this. So the good news is I'm going first. We all know that. I've only said it a few times this video. Alright, so Max Mindstorm. Let's see the damage. Oh, I like ball guy in the back, like, yeah, on the screen. All right, kind of solid damage, right? Okay, so here it comes. He's going to do another max airstream, and this right here might have decided the battle. Obviously, a couple moves beforehand definitely decided the battle, but look at this. Over half. Critical hits. It has super luck. Critical hit chances go up. So not only did it crit me, now it outspeeds me with the +2, and I knew it. I had it in my notes. I was like, Togekiss has Shadow Ball. It will use it against Mewtwo. if the opportunity presented itself. And, well, here is that opportunity. So I'm kind of thinking, all right, +2, maybe he outspeeds, maybe he doesn't. So, I mean, honestly, I had a max Mindstorm, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. He outsped me. He got a critical hit again. Honestly, I don't think that mattered with the final one. The first max Airstream crit did, in fact, matter. So, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the losing side of week 3. Our record is 1-2, and we are a +3 on our KD. So, we're still in a good spot. I just burped. Excuse me. My apologies. So, we're still in a good spot, ladies and gentlemen. Next week, we battle the Iowa Incineroar, and the week after, we battle the Greater Manchester Greninjas. So, hopefully, we can bounce back. I think after this week, we should still be in the playoff picture. So, that is really positive news. Maxis is a great battler. Maxis, GG's again, my friend. Y'all, make sure you go watch Maxis' video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button to like and subscribe. And we will see you next week for sure. The DC Starmies are looking to bounce back again against our good friend Infernaman. Peace out, everyone.